would destroy our financial system. We can't let that happen. America is ready for the pro-crypto president, and there's only one candidate who has promised to fire Gary Gensler.
Global tax deals happening. We got global deals on principles for how they're going to, interact among each other with central bank digital currencies. And people really believe they couldn't come up with a price set for XRP? That's like not even hard to think. There's no logic there. It doesn't make sense. So, if they do that, we believe the value would be higher than it was in September and October of 2021 when we were throwing out 25,037.5 coins. So it would be a higher price than our previous prediction in the 50,000 now, I would think. We haven't brought the numbers down, but I'm just thinking about all the additional trillions of dollars that got pumped in to the economy. Yes, the fact, the Fed right now is really the only participant in our economy. They're basically issuing all the money. That's going into the big banks, and then the big banks are selling, and the hedge funds are selling their crap fucking debt. Yeah, sorry, can I have some? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. They're selling their crap all the time back to the Fed, and the balance sheets going parabolic.
$80 trillion incoming?
And the reality of 80 trillion in wealth that's going to transfer through one generation to the next as baby boomers kind of move on and pass their money down. Crypto is going to be part of that conversation. And that is also another, I think, topic that is what is going to be the future of crypto, is how that's going to be allocated and where people are going to put in their portfolios.
And that was Dave Lavelle, the head of ETFs over at Grayscale. As they understand how massive this greatest transfer of wealth is about to be, and crypto is going to be part of the conversation. It is the technology of the future, and Ripple has been paving its way for the longest time. Grayscale to launch the first US XRP trust, paving way for a potential ETF. In my opinion, they are strategically setting everything up, all the way from the trust, the ETF, the stablecoins, the partnerships, right? So that they can influx all of this liquidity into the actual markets.
Solution and a stablecoin, which can be a proxy for any digital asset that you want to use on the blockchain to make that happen. So we're going all in on all three pillars. And part of it also will become the tokenization of real world assets. And I think eventually, and that is getting a lot of traction outside of the US in all of the jurisdictions that Tom talked about, all of the jurisdictions where we have customers. And hopefully when this regulatory cloud is lifted and we get some policy clarity in the US, we will then be the most trusted source for enterprise support for crypto solutions in the US.
I mean, tokenization has gone through all these hype cycles, but my goodness, it seems to be having a moment in a real way.
Ripple is going to be the most trusted one-stop shop for all of enterprise solutions for crypto. This is why you're starting to see all over TikTok, all the crypto bros that were once namesayers that talk crap about XRP start to be like, oh, I was wrong about XRP. This is how my thought process is that there's so many problems all across the world, right? Number one problem is to save the children. But in order to solve all of these problems, we have to change the money. But a lot of y'all didn't understand that, and now y'all are trying to switch sides. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, trust comes a long way in the new world, and none of us forget. This is why it's so important to know what you hold. Let's go.
When people give their money to BlackRock now in an exchange-traded fund with Bitcoin name on it, they have to physically go buy the Bitcoin. It's not paper version. They have to go buy Bitcoin and own the actual asset. That asset has to be self-custody for real. And why is that big, Dan Calvin? Because that opened up the floodgates for other ETFs. If you don't think an XRP ETF is coming, you don't understand crypto at all, dude. Let me just give you a couple words here. 3 words. XRP. Not a security. Somebody said let it ring out. So say it out loud again so I can hear Calvin. It sounds like music to my ears. It's poetry. Just snap your fingers.
The ETF, when?
I think we're going to see it, I think it'll probably be 2025.
Next year?
Yeah,
all right.
not too far. I really believe that. Instant wealth. Someone told me once that when the price of XRP, the lawsuit is over, it's going to just go up and come back down because people will sell. I get that.
Yeah.
However, XRP does have a burn rate too. So it's burning. I know it's burning very slowly.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's burning the transactions, why the hell would it go back down? It should just keep going up. You know, it wouldn't make sense. But I personally think that it's just going to shoot up. And this is what we've been told before. This is what we've heard before. I think we're now speculating based on heavy data and heavy research how this might actually play out. Because when they flip the switch on, okay, they have the payment protocols in place with the largest institutions. So if they flip the switch, that's it. All the assets now move on that platform. So there's now utility. And business isn't going to stop. It's going to keep going. Easy $100 real fast. And as the demand keeps going because institutions are using it, they start to follow. Everyone hops on board. And
if you've got the stable coin, is there a need for XRP in this mix?
Absolutely. We use a mix of assets to serve our payments customers, so including stable coins as well as XRP. The use case for XRP in particular is as it was envisioned by the original creators of the ledger and of XRP. And that is as a bridge asset for the long tail of currency pairs. And we're talking about tokenization of other types of assets. In the future, when you have new types of assets tokenized on chain, having a really efficient intermediary bridge asset to make any pair liquid is important.
Spend the money now, get it out of your bank account while you still can quickly and easily, and try and bring your balances down to a level where you're not going to be too worried if they tell you you're bottlenecked and you can't move it into the new currency.
You mean money in the bank, correct? Don't keep too much in the bank.
Yes, exactly. If we have a reset, we have a crisis, and suddenly they close the doors and they say the whole economy is run on the central bank digital currency, but you're bottlenecked. You can't now move the old currency into the new one. The old currency is effectively either defunct today or it's going to be withering away. You want to have less of that old currency left, or whatever they don't convert for you.
March of 2023, there was a report by the IMF titled "Trust Bridges and Money Flows: A Digital Marketplace to Improve Cross-Border Payments." And interestingly, on page 23, they mention two digital assets, and that's XRP and XLM.
The Bank for International Settlements publishes their money flower, and there is a small space in that money flower for those private cryptocurrencies. So I agree with you that the winners of this have already been chosen.
I believe so.
Right? And I think that you just named the two that are most likely that, and I think also Wall Street's totally adopted Bitcoin.
Here is proof that the banks are keeping XRP, XLM, whatever they're going to use in this transition to digital assets a secret. Listen to this.
Citi as an organization is quite conservative in terms of what we talk about, in what we say in the media. We don't say anything until it's gone through our regulatory approval, and our internal guidelines are robust and strong, and I'm sure I'm being watched as I speak.
So right there in your face, this guy, David Cunningham, the global head of strategy and partnerships of digital assets, tells you straightforward that they keep a lot of things behind the scenes, that they're conservative on information that they project to the media and to the masses.
Crypto at large is tribalism. I mean, Ripple has invested in over 60 companies. We've invested hundreds of millions of dollars, close to $500 million, and about 60 different companies across the crypto landscape. Some of them are involved with XRP, some of them aren't. I truly believe all boats can rise, and I think the whole industry, frankly, needs to stop taking shots at each other and try to support each other and try to actually help people.
There were many XRP holders who wanted me to ask you if Bitwise was going to do anything regarding XRP, given the ruling in the lawsuit against Ripple, given that it has some level of clarity now that intrinsically it's not a security. Anything you can share there?
Yeah, it is a holding now of the Bitwise 10. So it is the third largest holding at a 3.2% weight. You know, we removed it from the index the day the lawsuit came from the SEC because it injected a fair amount of risk into the market. but the lawsuit went through and there was a ruling. And as you mentioned, the ruling found that it was not a security in most aspects. And so it is back in the index where it belongs, just like it's there, you know, with your pillows. So we're ready. We're right there with you.
Yes, it is my name on the lower left-hand side of U.S. money. So out of the approximately $2 trillion of U.S. currency in circulation worldwide, my name is approximately on 1.8 trillion. So I can honestly say that no one has made more money than I have. I'm also on the board of Ripple, which is XRP, cryptocurrency. But I want to make something very, very clear. Blockchain is here to stay. The train has left the station. You're going to hear me quoted about that all the time. As far as I'm concerned, whether it's fractional real estate, whether it's art, whether it's NFTs, blockchain is not going away.
Ripple's in a position where we can serve a lot of enterprise use cases for finance. So you can expect us to kind of expand beyond payments as a use case. Secondly, because we were just talking about ETFs, I think it would be very sensible for someone to launch an XRP ETF. XRP has been, trading as one of the, within the top 10 for how long? Maybe its entire life. And on the top exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, it's certainly in the top 5 of daily volume. Oh, the other factor there, because of the court's ruling last year, XRP and Bitcoin are the only 2 crypto assets in the United States with clarity.
There were a couple of interesting things after that Bitcoin ETF was approved in that statement. One, and I paraphrase here, was effectively Gary Gensler saying, just because we allowed the Bitcoin ETF, don't think we're now going to allow a bunch of other crypto assets. The second interesting thing was the price of Ether skyrocketed immediately after, on hopes that there could now next be an ETF. One of